Now, Storm Tracker 9 weather with Chief Meteorologist Justin Stapleton.
Welcome back. We are live at Alton Baker Park on this absolutely picture-perfect end of April. April, sort of a schizophrenic month here. We started off super dry, then it got cold and wet, and then we're rounding things out basically with setting new records today across not just Eugene, but out to the coast where it was in the 90s today. Yes, 90s. And then 91 degrees down at Roseburg, one of the other spots. I'll show you the current totals so far. And again, some of the numbers I'll have to update when I get back into the studio for 11 o'clock tonight. But many spots certainly enjoying this beautiful weather. And this pretty much tells the story. You've got that big ridge of high pressure sending most of the cloud cover up and over top of the Pacific Northwest here. Seattle sitting in the 80s today as well. And even out towards Newport, where they got up to about 86 degrees. That's the warmest temperature they've ever seen in this state in the month of April. Pretty amazing. Right now, here's what's happening in Coos Bay. See the winds starting to come up out of the west, and that has cooled things off. Coos Bay was at about 95 degrees in one of the reporting stations earlier today. Now sitting at 72. You can see the bridge there continuing to be mostly sunny skies. We've got a little bit of milky sky cover here across parts of the Willamette Valley. Temperatures are very comfortable, though, at a beautiful 78 here in Eugene, 91 smoke and still down in Roseburg, 89 in Florence, 81 in Corvallis, 70s out in Sunriver and Bend. One of the reasons the coast's so hot today is because we had a real strong offshore wind. In addition, you have the warm air pulling up from the South California, and it just kind of rides up along the coast range, sort of serves like a fence and creates what's called a heat low or a thermal low. Now, we will start to see the coast cooling off, but those were some of the records that were broken today, including the one in North Bend that was just shattered. It sat way back at 1931. Their all-time record of 94 degrees set back in 1919. All right, for tonight, here's what we're looking at. We'll see overnight lows stay very mild, so do expect to keep these temperatures around for at least one more day. And in fact, I think that's why, even though we'll slowly get the winds to switch tomorrow, I think we could still keep some of the heat, and especially in some of the inland places like Corvallis, in Eugene, down to Cottage Grove, for example, and even into Roseburg. Well, watch what happens, though. You see that big ridge of high pressure. That'll eventually break down by Friday. That low that's starting to slowly creep northward just offshore, that will switch the winds, and that will eventually start to not only bring some of the cooler ocean air in by Saturday, where we'll drop about 20 degrees, but eventually we'll start to bring in showers as well for Sunday, and that will be, put us back to more of a traditional pattern where we'll see fairly wet weather. Jetstream pretty much says it all on the map here. You can tell as we go through the next 72 hours. Watch that big low just kind of barrel on in towards the Pacific Northwest, and it's going to bring the cold air with it. And get this, where temperatures have been in the 70s for today and yesterday and tomorrow in the Cascades, we're going to be looking at temperatures in the 40s and snow. How about that? Sizzling again for the Umpqua. We'll be looking at temperatures there in the 80s. Upper 60s to low 70s across parts of the Cascades. Central Oregon, we'll be seeing temperatures in the low 80s to upper 70s, so another very warm day across Bend and Redmond. And then here in the Willamette Valley, last warm day tomorrow, we'll see the temperatures sitting at around 86 up towards Corvallis. I think we'll hover right around 83 to 85 across the Southern Valley, and then a little warmer as you get down to Cottage Grove again. Now, the trick to this is we got to keep the winds pulling out of the north and east, and the winds above the surface out of the south. They will eventually switch, and as they do, look at the cloud cover start to return along the coast. A little bit of drizzle on Friday, and then showers, and much cooler as we head in towards Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. The Umpqua, it will basically go from the upper 80s tomorrow back to the mid to upper 70s on Friday, and then barely touching 60 degrees as we go towards Monday and Tuesday. So for the Cascades, that will mean sunny weather tomorrow. Then as we get into Saturday and Sunday, look at that, everything crashing down. Freezing lines jump back down to around 4,500 feet, and we'll put some snow showers in the forecast. And then finally for the Willamette Valley, 85 tomorrow. Overnight lows will slowly start to fall back, but the afternoon temperatures with the westerly winds by Saturday and Sunday, even though we'll be dry for Saturday, it'll be mostly cloudy and a sharp contrast to the just absolute picture-perfect day that we've got going on outside right now. One of the other things, Matt and Renee, I want to let you guys know too, is that a lot of folks might want to try to head into the river tomorrow. Remember, the water is still very cold this time of year, and it doesn't take much to get hypothermia if you're in that water. So just be careful on the rivers if you head there.
All right.
Good advice.
Thanks, Justin. Colorado Symphony is taking